Hi, this is Lisa with Lux Perennials Nursery. We're going to do a walk through the garden. This is our last open weekend of 2024. Come on out, check out the garden, and then we'll see you in 25. Everyone's been asking about these. Aren't they gorgeous? This is called Cape Lily or Hesperantha with that beautiful geranium roseanne behind it and all the burgundy colors and purple jewel tones. That's a hydrangea everlasting crimson that so many of you have been asking about and we have back in stock. Salvia indigo spires. What a great combination. Some of these have been blooming since May, and this beauty right here just started blooming in September, and it will often bloom through November, and depending on our winter, maybe December. Talk about another long blooming beauty. Look at this great color. Blooming since May. You really have to deadhead this one, cut those spent flowers off, and then she will perform and keep blooming. A beautiful combination for shade. Here is that everlasting crimson hydrangea again. It starts out hot pink and then it fades to this beautiful cranberry color and typically holds that through November. Right next to it, this lovely fuchsia. We have, I don't know, 8 or 10 varieties of fuchsia and these amazing colors. They'll be blooming into November as well, probably. Brunnera Jack Frost is a great way to light up the shade. There was some evergreen ferns. Walking along the garden path, you might say, well, hey, where's the color in this? This is yarrow. Look at all these buds. It's going to keep blooming. It's been going since June. I probably cut it back to, I don't know, 3 inches tall back a few months ago, and look at all this fresh growth. That's how to keep it looking great all season. And then it keeps blooming. Look at those beautiful colors. And what a great contrast with that pink to this beautiful fuchsia. It's just loaded with flowers, covered, and it's been blooming since June also. Here's another one of those fuchsias. This is De Bronze Black Cherry. We've got lots of great colors in this. And I love fuchsias for how long they bloom into the fall. Look at the beautiful fall colors of this hydrangea. This is Glowing Embers. It was a bright pink when it started out, and then, you know, in fall it turns this beautiful shades of cranberry and red with a little purple. This is Glowing Embers. These are called Persicaria Firetail. They make this beautiful vertical statement with their spires of raspberry pink flowers. Behind them, some salvia. Really a great combination with the purple geranium behind it. Over here you have another salvia. Look how tall this guy is. Isn't that gorgeous? Covered in purple flowers. The hummingbirds love this. I'm surprised I haven't been bombed by one here a minute ago. But that one is Salvia Amistad. Blooms all summer, midsummer, well into fall. And if you pan out here, you can see what a beautiful combination that royal purple of Salvia Amistad is with those hydrangeas back there. That's more Glowing Embers. And what is this, you say? That's a bearded iris. What is it doing blooming in October, for goodness sakes? Look at the purple on this. I don't know if you can see that. It's just amazing. This really velvety dark purple. This is a re-blooming iris. We sell these at the nursery too, and I love it. It bloomed heavily in May, and then now it blooms again in September, October. Here is more yarrow. This one is called Summer Wine. Look at that great color. Really beautiful wine colored. But the star of the garden, ever since late July, is dahlias. Look at how beautiful this guy is. There's 3 of them there, and they are huge. You can kind of pan over, light, and see more dahlias loaded with these coral dahlias. This very sweet plant called catmint, nepeta. It has purple flowers on it. It starts blooming in May. Keeps going all season. We have Hummingbird Mint Blue Fortune. It's the purple on it makes a great contrast, especially when you put it next to all these deep colors of the dahlias, that burgundy, this other kind of watermelon, coral, pink. I'm not even sure what color to call it. And then look at this beautiful Rudbeckia. Isn't this a great color? It's called Cherry Brandy. All of these are on sale at the nursery. This one, in fact, is 30% off. Another fun plant combination. To kind of zoom out here, you can see we've got our river of geranium roseanne, all this purple here. And then I love the burgundy leaves of this Weigela. It gets hot pink flowers in spring. But look at this beauty next to it. This is called malva. It's a tree mallow. And it's got these magenta flowers with a bit of a dark purple eye that kind of picks up on that purple, burgundy purple from the plant next to it. Here's another fuchsia. This one is called Marie Eileen. It's got a bit of a weeping habit and it's shorter, so you can put it at the front of the border. You can put it in a pot and have it weep over the side, and it's a hardy fuchsia, so it will come back year after year. Here's more of those hydrangeas, everlasting crimson. Can you believe how deep the color is on that? Cranberry, it just screams Thanksgiving to me. And beautiful, here's the Jupiter's beard, the Centranthus again with its beautiful color. And now we're in the land of penstemon. This is one of my favorites. It's got this beautiful plum color. It's called penstemon raven. It's got all these different flowers on it. You can kind of see the little plum and white stripes inside of it. Hummingbirds love that one also. And there's another one here called Whistly Pink, light pink on the outside and with these little pink stripes on the inside. And one of my new favorites, I love this. There's more salvia there, but is this salvia. Look how hot pink that is, and there's the whole bush of that. I really love burgundy in the garden. My favorite color is corals and pinks. Like, you know, let's look at this dahlia again. Wow. But the burgundy makes it pop. And so using that in different spots and popping that in combinations is beautiful. And you can do it with these, you know, large leaves. You can do it with flowers like the dahlia there. And you can do it with these beautiful coreopsis. Most people think of coreopsis as yellow. This one is called Ruby Frost. Isn't it a beauty? It's this beautiful burgundy, and it just is covered with flowers. Here's more of this salvia. It's called Salvia amante, and it's just this beautiful dark pink. And it's just so striking with, you know, with burgundy, with purples and colors like that. Around the corner here we have hummingbird mint, and this one is sangria. It's also got this beautiful kind of magenta pink color. I like putting some orange dahlias behind it for contrast. And then we've got burgundy in the form of this tree. It's a chocolate mimosa. And then of course over here to one of my favorite dahlias. Look how beautiful it is. Oh, just this velvety chocolate color. Holly Hill Black Beauty. We've even got foxglove blooming. The foxglove here are on sale for 30% off. Look how pretty. We have lots of different colors of those. We're back in the shade garden, and it's sometimes hard to get color in the shade. Beautiful ferns. These have a bit of a gray tinge to them, but I love these perennial begonias. Most people think of begonias as annuals, but there's a perennial variety. And look how they have these beautiful white flowers. They really come into their own in the late summer and fall. And look at this one. It's just got all these cute pink flowers on it. And then underneath, their leaves are red. They're so cool. So you see that color, you know, and you see the kind of red as you walk past it. You can see those flashes of red colors under the leaves. Some people are asking me about what to cut down in their garden these days, and my answer is nothing, because look how beautiful and how much color there still is, and this will last for a while, especially with our weather the way it is. I usually start cutting things back in November, and there will be a little video on that when we get to that point. Here's another penstemon. I really love them. They have so many great colors. The hummingbirds love these, all the pollinators. The bees get right in there. They're so fun when they pop out of each of those penstemon. It's got the little stripes inside. This is Jeff Hamilton, such a vibrant, beautiful color with amaranth behind it. Amaranth is actually an annual. Look how that burgundy picks up on the burgundy of the dahlias back there. And but it reseeds itself, so it actually pops up in the amaranth. Even though it's an annual, we let the seeds drop, and it pops up in all kinds of places in the garden. Here, back there, with the hydrangeas. You know, somehow it seems to have just the right sense of where to put itself to be really stunning. Look at that burgundy with the coral. As we come into the backyard garden, there's a nice combination here before you even get into the back. This red-leaved plant, it actually has some of this red on the leaves all winter and then starts to really turn before fall, but it's called Macadamia Crimson Fans. It makes a great ground cover and will take shade to sun actually, but prefers part shade. And look above it, look at this beautiful plant. It's called Phygelius or Cape Fuchsia. It's not a fuchsia, it's a different plant. And it's just loaded with all these tubular flowers. Again, the pollinators love it. Hummingbirds and butterflies and bees, and they're all over it. Some years this will bloom for me until Christmas, and I have hummingbirds just right outside my office because it's just right behind me here. Very pretty, paired again with burgundy, this time in a Japanese maple. And look at the different shapes. You have the dense burgundy and color of the Japanese maple and the texture of the leaf, this beautiful tubular shape of the Phygelius, and then the big round flowers of the hydrangea. We're coming up on one of my favorite things to photograph in the garden. You have this, deep pink Jupiter's beard or Centranthus, but then you come up to this section and you have the deep purple of the salvia, the white of the gara. This is butterfly gara, and I've got this in the white with green leaves and one with pink flowers and burgundy leaves. Just beautiful. I've started planting that in a lot of places in the garden. The geranium roseanne spills over, and then of course the star of the show right now is this beautiful dahlia behind it. But look at the color combination and the textures of the vertical spires of the salvia and the purples with the corals, a white touch thrown in. One of my favorite combinations. Here's another sweet salvia. This one is called Mirage Salmon, and these salvias bloom from about June, July, through October. This little salmon one, you've got that royal purple salvia amistad in the background. We've got a lot of this Mirage Salmon in this bed, and then we combine it with that fuchsia. This is that de Bronze black cherry again. And yes, my fuchsias are in full sun. They bloom and perform really well in Oregon in full sun. They can take it here, and that's often where I'll put them. You might think of foxglove as blooming in late spring, early summer, but mine often will start sending up blooms in late summer as well. And so we've got some foxglove blooming in the garden now. You just have to snip those spires of that long stalk of flowers off in the spring when it's done, and then it's going to keep blooming for you. And of course, asters. Asters really mean late summer and fall, and look how beautiful they are, like a sea of purple, and great contrast with this orange dahlia marn. And then the other thing I like to combine with like strong purples and orange is then to put in this deep pink. That's a penstemon back there, penstemon ruby. We can look across the garden, and one of my favorite plants and my bestseller is geum. Blooms heavily in spring, April, May, June, July, and then kind of takes a bit of a breather, blooms sporadically over the summer, and then starts again up, and now you can see it's starting to bloom again now that it's a little bit cooler. This one is Coral Tempest. That's my new one. It's really pretty coral color here. And then the good old geranium roseanne. And good old geum Totally Tangerine is blooming again too. Look who else is blooming. The lavender are blooming again because we sheared them back, oh gosh, a month or so ago after they were done. This beautiful mullein, it's also called verbascum, wedding candles, because it has this candelabra of white flowers. And we'll just kind of step into the bed here and roam around and see who else is blooming. More foxglove blooming, so sweet in the middle of all these other plants. Here's another one blooming again. Delphiniums bloom in May. This is Delphinium May Night. But if you cut them back, cut their whole stalk back after it's done blooming, I can often get an additional 2 blooms, so 3 bloom cycles out of a delphinium in a given season. I love this deep purple color with the black eye. Here are more of the yarrow. This is a combination of yarrow raspberry and some cerise queen in here. There's that penstemon ruby again, and look how beautiful that pink is with that dark purple of that that salvia. Some of these salvias that I have get to 4 to 5 feet tall, and they're just so stunning as a backdrop against some of the other plants. There's a sweet little Daphne back there that's blooming its little head off. Some more of the Jupiter's beard, and more dahlia. This plant is wallflower. It needs really good drainage, but it is an incredible performer. It will bloom starting in April, which is pretty early for a perennial, and it just keeps blooming. It's October, it's blooming. It's been blooming since April. Oh, by the way, I am also distracted by, here is another fuchsia. Look at the color on that one. That's a beautiful coral on coral fuchsia called Grona Khan's Glory. Okay, but back to our wallflower. This wallflower is evergreen, so I actually use it a fair amount in the garden because I have this nice gray-green foliage year-round and lots of flowers. It's a short-lived perennial, 3 or 4 years typically, but it just blooms its little head off, and it has a heavy bloom for the first 3 to 4 months it's blooming. I don't know if you can see this or maybe hear this, but the bees are buzzing through all this beautiful purple aster. And then of course we have this is a beautiful bud coal fuchsia behind it, just loaded with dark pink magenta flowers. Hello, bee. I really like this simple combination. This is a sea of roses. This is ground cover rose. We don't sell any roses, but you can get them lots of places. But they're so easy to grow and really tough. And they just bloom, starting in June. Hydrangeas behind it, that's limelight. And then again, there's that dark purple salvia, Amistad. Here's GM Totally Tangerine again, blooming since April. And here's a few of our sweet little girls. We have a few chickens and ducks on the property. Hey, stop eating my iris. I guess it could be worse. They could eat more. Anyway, they're very sweet and they keep me company in the garden. This is a tall plant called Peruvian lily. A lot of the Peruvian lilies are quite short that you might find in the nursery because that's what most of the demand is for. But I love these tall ones. They're about 3 feet tall. Give you this beautiful color. This one happens to be peachy orange. Again, look at the color with the royal purple of Salvia Amistad. And we also have it in a very sweet light pink called apricot. More dahlias. Just these jewel tones. That's Holly Hill Black Beauty again. It just takes on all different colors from a deep burgundy to kind of a vivid pink underneath. And then my best-selling dahlia, this is Dragonberry. Look at that flower. It's stunning in flower arrangements. And well, that's about it. Here's a beautiful Home Depot bucket. That's for moles we hope to catch. And more of that amaranth, that burgundy and purple and pink combination. Again, this is Centranthus. Look how well it's still blooming since May. Here's a bit of a teaser comment. This is a dahlia we don't currently sell, but we should have next year, called Dahlia Nicholas. I love the contrast with that purple aster in the background and this sweet pink phlox right there. Look at these fun color combinations. Just blooming, and it's mid-October, for goodness sakes. Purples and pinks and burgundies on a beautiful blue sky day. Pretty grateful to have a garden.